Hello, friends. Today's episode is brought to you by From Within Records. This month, Strike Force #1 drops 40 pages of exclusive interviews and a whole lot more, so please keep an eye out for that. Just a couple days away from Envision's The Gods Who Built Tomorrow, which I am so excited for. I'm a huge fan of Envision, and I can't wait to hear the new record. I can't wait for all of you to hear the new record. It's going to be amazing. Shout out Envision. If you're not following From Within Records on social media, please boot up your Twitter, your Instagram, click that follow button to stay up to date on all the current news. From Within Records podcast network. If you're not subscribed to the From Within Records podcast or Dudes Doing Movies, I highly suggest you boot up your Apple Podcast, your Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, and click subscribe. And like I always say, please support From Within Records because they support us. If you're looking for high quality merch for your band, for your business, please hit up my friends over at Good Fortune Printing out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. You can follow them on Instagram at Good Fortune Printing. And if you want to get in contact with them, please email them contact@goodfortuneprinting.com. Before we get into today's guest, crazy week. This Friday, like I mentioned earlier, The Gods Who Built Tomorrow, but also big day for California hardcore. Spinebreaker drops a new record. Podcast coming very soon. Drain's dropping their new record. It's a great time for hardcore in general. So I'm very excited for every band that's dropping on Friday. All amazing records. So please support every band. Also this Friday, I'm going to the Wiltern for the first time, which is weird because I've lived in Southern California my whole life. I've driven past the Wiltern millions of times, but I've never stepped foot inside. But this Friday, I will be attending the NMIX showcase. A lot of you are wondering, what is NMIX? They're an amazing K-pop group. They're on JYP Entertainment, so they're label mates with Twice, Stray Kids. They're amazing. I've seen them live before. I saw them at KCON last year, and it was awesome. So when they announced that they were doing their showcase, that they were doing just select dates across the U.S., the tour already started. I think it started up in Seattle, and they were kind of making their way down to Southern California. Then they're shooting across, and I think they're hitting like Atlanta and some other places. But I'm so excited to be able to go to that. Should be fun. I'll obviously update all of you on it. And a new thing for the channel, we're taking YouTube way more serious with the people asking like, hey, why aren't you on YouTube? And big ups to my friend Jeff from Feet First. He told me that I should really take it a little more serious. So with that, if you haven't noticed, the past couple episodes, everything has been on YouTube Shorts, and we're still on Spotify, still on TikTok. We're everywhere now. So we're just trying to make it more available for people who want to see it in different places. So if you're not subscribed, please head over to YouTube, search out the podcast. It's there. It's fun. I don't mind putting it there. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time. So I'm happy that Jeff kind of gave me the nudge I needed to take it more serious. So we'll be there way more consistently than we have been. So I appreciate anyone who has subscribed so far and people who are checking it over there. It's much appreciated. But on today's episode, we had to track down our good friend Braxton. You might know him as the king of the IE, which is awesome. The IE's popping off. If you're not in tune, if you're in the Southern California area and you're not in tune with what's going on in the IE right now, it's pretty awesome. There's so many cool videos coming out, awesome bands popping up, and I'm stoked to see tours actually hitting the IE these days, like tours that you wouldn't expect. So I'm so happy to see it bumping down there again on a bigger scale. So shout out to the Inland Empire. Go eat at Baker's. But Braxton plays in Shred Bundy, Wise, Madhouse, and Zulu. So it was fun for me to be able to track down Braxton and catch up with him and hear about all the bands he's working on and all the things that he has upcoming that's not even released yet. So for anyone who is a fan of Braxton or a fan of the bands that he's in, I hope you appreciate this conversation as much as I did. So please strap in, enjoy this conversation. Without further ado, welcome Braxton to the show. Welcome back to the podcast, Braxton. How's it going?
Chilling, man. What's good?
No, just same here. Just happy to have you back on the podcast because you're big time now. Zulu taking over the world, which is awesome to see. So I'm happy that you're back on the podcast. So thank you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, bro.
So where are you at these days? Are you still out traveling? Because I know the tour is over, but are you back home?
Yeah, the tour maybe ended last week.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, I don't even know what today it is. I think a few days ago it ended. Yeah, like 2 days ago. Yeah, gonna get right back to the swing of things. It got a lot of stuff coming up. I'm just barely getting a chance to breathe, but within the next week, we got some more stuff coming up. So I have to take it as it comes, But yeah, man, it's been sick. It's been really sick.
And was this always the plan for Zulu to hit it this hard? Because it's awesome to see, right? That there's only like a couple of bands that are hitting it just as hard as you guys, and just the amount of growth that you guys have had in just the last year, I feel like has been insane.
Thank you. Yeah, 2019, it was just gonna be just like a side thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a Bandcamp link, and just play some shows on occasion. And over the course of the pandemic, 2020, it just super took off, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And to my knowledge, it was just gonna be just a fun band to do. I mean, it's fun, but I didn't think it was gonna be as time consuming. 2021, we did a tour with Scowl, and that's when I was looking around. I was like, yo, this is crazy. I was like, this is people are going nuts right now. And since 2021, the trajectory that us and also Scout have been on has been so overwhelming. And now it's this is very, very full time. It's mind blowing. Still can't even wrap my head around it.
And I do love that pairing with Scal, because you mentioned that tour back in 2020. What was it, 2021? Whenever I felt it was right when shows, it was okay to do shows without a stigma. I remember going to this random place in LA where I swear they didn't ever have a show there again. It's this big open room. And I remember seeing Zulu and Scallon and thinking okay, this is cool and brave of you guys to be able to get it together that early and just hit the road. So fast forward to now and seeing where both bands are at and what kind of tours, what kind of shows and kind of press you guys are getting. To me, I think it's awesome to see that you guys are still able to have that connection and do it together again years later.
I was it's so funny, me and Cole from Scout, we had an ongoing inside joke. Every Zulu Scout show was gonna be called a movie title. There was Zulu and Scout, A New Hope, and there was Zulu and Scout, Age of Ultron or whatever. But after a while, then we played 40 shows together. It's something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a lot. And I saw the group chat. There's a fest we got announced for Zulu Scout, and Calvin Harris is headlining.
That's why.
Yeah, it's somewhere in Europe. Zulu and Scout, we're always playing shows together. Like I said, we just got off a tour 2 months straight with Scout. Um, Kat put it perfectly. Like Zulu and Sky are like sister bands, and I feel like it always like be that way because we've been through a lot together, especially this past tour. Like Zulu and Sky have been through a lot together, but it's just so satisfying to see us like both, flat spot, both just playing like random shows, and now like I said, the trajectory of like what both bands are doing. I mean, every band on Flash Five is like going crazy right now. Like Buggin just dropped like a single. Like Flash Five is just going crazy, but it's so cool to just be like every step of the way. It's like Zulu Scout all the time. I think it's so sick. And like, then the camaraderie between us, awesome. Like well, they're all really good friends, really good people. So it's nuts. It's so nuts. It's mind blowing to be honest.
Yeah, no, for me, it's really fun to watch. Like I was just in Philly the other week and seeing, people in like Zulu crew necks, and I'm like, oh, that's so sick to see. Like, the influence you guys are having. Just like, it's just one of those bands where it's like you go to a show, somebody's gonna be wearing some sort of Zulu merch.
Wow. Yeah, I still can't. It's still very overwhelming. I can't really process a lot of it. So yeah, people saying, "Oh, you're in Zulu, right?" Like it's so random. It's still like getting approached. It just it's mind blowing. I can't even put the words into it. It's nuts. It's really nuts.
Well, I think it's awesome and well deserved because obviously you guys are working
Thank
hard.
you.
But I want to talk to you about the new record, a new Tomorrow that dropped about a month ago. Awesome record front to
Oh
back.
wow. It has been a month ago.
Yeah,
I think it was like last week.
no, time's
Yeah,
flying.
time is going crazy. Yeah, because I remember all the hype. I'm like, oh, it's about to come out. It's about to come out. Now it's out. I'm like, oh, it's been out for a month. That's so crazy. Sorry, I'm listening. Not just like I hadn't heard that said before. Oh, it was a month ago. So that's kind of nuts.
Yeah, and time's flying, but you guys are busy, so it's not surprising to hear that you're surprised by that because you guys are just got off that long tour. But I'm curious about it being your debut full length. What kind of goals did you guys have set for it? Because for me, looking at the band and the kind of influence you guys have had, and obviously the going from the weird drama with the abolish white hardcore, but you guys actually stand for something. So to see this record come out and reading the interesting names for the songs and just knowing that this record actually has like a deep meaning. Can you talk about what this meant for you to finally have it come out?
it's it's very cathartic. It just it. I'm very much into like a lot of thrash and death metal and like grindcore and like TV and stuff like that. Christine is very much into metalcore. Dez is he rocks with a lot of metalcore and a lot of old punk and stuff, and I rocks with a lot of punk. And Satch is like rocks with jazz, heavy jazz, like smooth R&B, and I mean I rock with jazz as well. We all have a lot of eclectic tastes we bring to the table, and I feel like it there's ways where we could have an eclectic record and it can sound like a kind of like loose mess, but I feel like we brought it together as cohesively as we could. I guess you could say. It's just wild to see how like everything has come together. Um, I don't know, and we there's some stuff that's with the record that I can't even announce yet, even to this day. Like there's new development, I guess you could say, new stuff coming out regarding some of the songs, which is always exciting. But I hope it can stand the test of time. I'm sure it can. Um, just like the what's the word? The reception has been overwhelming. A lot of people have just been saying how much it meant to them. Of course, it's gonna be like neckbeard activity, like lamb goat users and crate people saying crazy stuff. Like, yeah, it doesn't affect me. I just think that like if we're in the lexicon of like modern music now, there's gonna be a lot of mixed reviews. Um, and that's very satisfying to have people talk bad about you freely means that, oh, okay, you're, like I said, in the canon of popular music in a sense that it's not just like a band that you can talk about. Like, oh, I don't want them to see this. You know, it's like, oh, I said it openly because we've now crossed over past the threshold of like a smaller band. Like now, I can say we're out into the popular world of music. I mean, we're a blip on the scale, but still, I mean, I like the grand scheme of things, but like NPR and like Pitchfork and all these um publications and like blogs and stuff hitting us up and reaching out to us really puts us to a new world of people who are going to have opinions, and it's just overall good and bad. It's just so satisfying.
As big as hardcore is, as popular as it is, not many bands make it through to the, outside of our bubble to the more popular outlets. So for me, it's fun to watch and see how people outside of the hardcore bubble are consuming Zulu, talking about Zulu, because it's just very interesting because not many bands make it that far out.
It's never been the goal, really, and I feel like if you're in hardcore for the goal of like doing that, I feel like that's just like I don't know. I feel like there's a lot. It's just like very contrived to start a hardcore band for the sake of like, oh, let's do this and be cool and da da da. Like it's very weird. Um, so for this to happen, just from well, initially just to be a side project, for this to happen is insane. Like I can't wrap my head around it. And yeah, a lot of people are gonna question our validity. Um, I know I'm good. I know I'm solid. You know, at the end of the day, no ulterior motives. Like we're just doing this for like, I mean, it's kind of obvious why we're doing it, but but it's crazy to see like we how it's being perceived is nuts. Like I can't wrap my head around it at all. It's just nuts. It is. I guess that's the word for it. Lack of a better term, nuts.
100%. And before the record came out, New Tomorrow, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I was just, keeping an open mind. But just all the different sounds that you guys were able to bring together, and it makes sense. Like I'm not listening to the record and thinking like, oh, this is out of place. They shouldn't have done this. To me, I enjoy that you guys decided to bring in different sounds and not just make it a traditional hardcore record.
Thank you. Yeah, I've seen that. That's been definitely been a criticism by some people. Like, not enough breakdowns, man, or whatever. Okay, bro. Like, like, I mean, I don't know. Just doing like me. I'm a huge like progressive rock fan. Listen to like Yes, um, freaking Fragile by Yes, crazy record. You know, it's not just hard rock. There's a lot of other elements into it that overall make it what it is. And I feel like if you equate the record to not just being a hardcore record, not just being grindcore, not just being like power violence adjacent, if you think about it, the grander scheme of things, we're just doing different things. So I I'm happy how it came out. Just the eclectic mix of different genres and everything. I think it's interesting, and we are working on new stuff, which is like kind of crazy to even say because it came out like a month ago. But we're just jamming on new stuff. I mean, nothing come out in the immediate future, obviously, but just like
Mm-hmm.
experimenting on new stuff and everything. Because the niche we've carved, just want to explore it. Not everything has to be super crazy, OD heavy. Not everything needs dissonance or all the time. Some wild, stuff like that. But I'm a fan of that. Obviously, I mean, everyone knows I love stuff like that. But it is very fun exploring different avenues of music within hardcore, grindcore, within power violence, that within punk and metal.
And I'm happy that you guys didn't go in that direction to just keep it straight heavy in your face, just beat down stuff, because just knowing that there has to be more creativity amongst all of you. So the fact that you guys were able to create a new Tomorrow with this awesome body of work, I think it's great that you went in that direction and didn't want to play it safe and just write another heavy record.
Thank you. I mean, I'm definitely a fan of playing it safe. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was definitely on board to just, break down right here and turn into a two step. Like, I was down for that. Just blast beats and side to side parts and this crazy stuff. I'm down for that. I love that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and we're not denouncing that by any means. We're not, trying to be condescending and say that if you do that, you're not cool or whatever. Like, that's awesome. I love that. I just, just want to do something different. And not for the sake of being different. Not, like I said, not trying to be contrived. Oh, let's be different. It's just like, let's just come up with stuff. And if it isn't under the umbrella of hardcore or grindcore or power violence, it's just like, just, try to run with it, just like trying to think outside the box without trying too hard. Just jamming and seeing where it comes. Like I said, we all have eclectic taste. We all have our own, I hate the word, but we all have our own vibe, aesthetically,
mm-hmm.
and even like musically, we all have different crazy backgrounds that it wouldn't be fair if we just didn't touch on each person's individual background within the band when it comes to music and, artistic expression,
100%. And when I'm listening to the record, I don't know why, but I'm so drawn to Shine Eternally. I just have that on repeat, and I'm still trying to figure out what it is about that song that just like it's just so chill. It just puts me in a good mood.
Thank you. I saw Santa Cruz Skateboards. There was a skater that did like a I don't know what's called, like a skate comp or a skate video. I don't know. I don't skate, but there's a skate video of that song, and I was like, wow, like that's nuts. Like I've seen like Drain and Gulch and a lot of like super heavy bands and just like crazy stuff, riffing and stuff. So like that song being like used for like a skate video and like the Rio to Zulu Shine Eternally, I was like, yo, that's nuts. Like that, someone sent it to me. I was like, wow, that's crazy. That's really sick. Satchel, our bassist, like I said, he like really involved in jazz and R&B and funk. So a lot of that song is like his brainchild of just him jamming. He's just like that. That's his bread and butter. Like that's what he's really well. That's what he's really good at. Is like making stuff like that and like writing it really well. So I love that song. I'm glad it came out the way it did.
Same here. Yeah, like I said, I have that song
Thank you.
on repeat. Definitely looking forward to hopefully hearing more stuff like that in the future.
Thank you.
But to do a full length can be a daunting task. I know a lot of bands don't want to do it because they're scared of tracks becoming filler, people getting bored. Was it important for all of you to come out with a full length, 15 tracks? It's a lot.
I've been seeing people say, "Oh, just filler tracks, man, whatever." I'm just like, I don't know. That goes back to what I was saying. Not everything has to be super heavy, but I had a good amount of riffs that I had sent and like just to see what the other people thought about it within the band. I don't know. I'm used to this like Van Halen records, just 9 songs, 10 songs, call it a day. That's my vibe. I mean, I love the Migos. Culture 1 was awesome. But Culture 2 and 3, they're just like 47, songs long or something. Just like it's like a playlist. I'm like, bro, like I don't like super super long albums. I know that's definitely been like a trend within like rap and hip hop as of late. It's like it's cool. It's just like not really my vibe. I don't really like long albums. So I feel like for me, If it's not 10, it's 12. If it's not 12, it's 14, and call it a day. That's how I'm, very used to like music, consuming music. Like CDs and cassettes and vinyl. I'm very used to just consuming it that way. But 15, like it was like, okay, we got some heavy riffs and like some crazy stuff, but there's more we want to bring to the table. Dez had some very powerful ideas. So yeah, Dez and Anaya, we all had like different ideas we wanted to explore that made it 15 songs. People may call it filler, but it's just stuff that needed to be present. I think if I get stuff that just if you consider it filler, then it's not for you. That's the best way I can put it. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, if it don't speak to you, then it's not meant to speak to you.
Yeah, when I talk to people about the album, I tell them that listening to A New Tomorrow is like an experience because it's not your traditional hardcore record. Like you said, you bring so many different sounds together to form this record, and I really do think it is an experience from front to back. It's awesome, it's interesting, and I hope people take the time to listen to it and actually try to understand what all of you were trying to create with this record.
Thank you. Yeah, I was very apprehensive just thinking about how it was going to be received, but now, with every record, like I think like, bro, like Kendrick lost the Grammy to Macklemore. Like,
that was rigged. That was like, rigged. There's no way. Come on.
Like there's always going to be something crazy, like, so, and then looking back, like that record Kendrick put out was one of the greatest ever. And I'm not, obviously there's no comparison.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like, people are gonna hate on stuff, when it comes out, and then a few years later, be like, "Whoa, that was kind of sick," And if they still say, "Oh, that album still sucks," whatever. Again, it's not for you. Like, I won't bat an eye. I won't lose sleep over somebody. Oh yeah, band sucks. Like, bro, I was on this tour. I was on like the board long drives going through Lamb Goat. Like, I see like
that's dangerous.
They're going crazy. I was like, oh, like he just wears the guitarist wears itty bitty shirts. Like their band's so corny. Like just wild stuff. I'm like, I'm wearing crop top as we speak right now. It just like it won't really affect me, to be honest. I just, like I said, goes back to my initial point. It's just very satisfying to see it in a realm where it has the opportunity to cross over into a different threshold of music. It's nuts. And yeah, like kind of like Shine Eternally, and We're More Than This, Dez's track put us in a different world. I saw somebody saying like, yeah, I checked out this We're More Than This song, and yeah, and I thought it was cool. And I listened to the rest of the record, and they're like a metal band, death metal band. That's crazy, awesome. And then I also see this band's not power violence at all. They're not even power violence at all. It's hardcore, and it's not even barely even hardcore. And then they play about a rap song, and it's like the dichotomy of like is one song, one vision, and it's just someone can see the exact same thing and have their own opinion of it, and it's so nuts. But yeah, it's just satisfying to see all of it, regardless of positive or negative. I just like negative won't really affect me. Obviously, I fixate on like the positive elements of what people are saying because that's gonna uplift the community and everybody around us. So stoked. Like at the end of the day, I'm like very stoked for everything that's been happening. It's really sick.
100%. Yeah, and just to have the communities discussing the record, that means that you're making some sort of impact, because you got to think about how many bands come and go, and there's no chatter about it. It's like, okay, cool demo, and then people move on. But the fact that you guys are able to have an impact, I think it's great, because I've loved the idea of Zulu from the start, and just to see it grow over the years, I think it's awesome.
Thank you. I honestly really appreciate that, man. Thank you, bro.
And for you, for the band to grow like so fast and to reach these crazy heights, how are you dealing with it? Are you okay with moving into these bigger tours, playing these international festivals?
Right. It's like I said, very overwhelming is not even the correct word to accurately describe how it feels. It's like this past tour, shout out from the body, shout out Asha, shout out Corpus. They're all amazing people. Like they've done so much for us over the past 2 months. But just from the body tour, like to be in Canada or something, I walk out and I say, "Oh, this is an opera house. Like this is like an opera hall. Like, this is a music hall. This is a theater. Like this is nuts." And there'd be people just like dancing or whatever, and then we start playing, and I've seen like bloody noses and people getting like carted out. Like it's just like it's crazy stuff. It's really I can't believe what I've been seeing. Like every day, it's just been walking the sound check. Oh wow, this is a 2,000 cap room. Okay, cool. And um, Alfredo from Fury told me something that really hit me crazy because we played the observatory, um, which obviously for if you're OC adjacent, or if you're from the IE or LA, that is like nuts to just play the big room of the observatory.
Mm-hmm.
And I've being in the IE like that was like essentially the hometown venue, even though it's not obviously IE, but it's like that's where we would go, like to go see something. Like it would be like 30 for me, it's probably like 30 minutes away, and that was like where we would go to see everything. And he looked at me, he's like, "Yeah, man, back in the day, it's like you hit 300-400 cap room and you made it. So seeing what you're doing is astounding." I was like, wow. And like this is a person I look up to like crazy,
Mm-hmm.
like and I was like, wow, like that's nuts, this is crazy. And then I was saying like the observatory, like I saw Young Thug there 2015. I saw Olive McConan, that's definitely like a minute ago, Olive McConan,
Yeah.
like no diss, but like that was a minute ago. But like
Dude,
I
Kendrick played
saw,
there. You mentioned Kendrick earlier. Kendrick has played there once. I
yeah,
saw Big
Kendrick.
Sean there.
My
Uh,
homie was telling me he saw Future 2 nights in a row there, or two shows in a row there.
mm. I
Um,
saw Playboy Cardi there.
I was about to say I saw Playboy Cardi
Mm-hmm.
there. Might have been the same show, probably 2018. You went
It was the Magnolia tour.
probably 2017,
Yeah.
18. Yeah, I saw Cardi, saw some Wu-Tang members, saw Death Angel, I saw Casualties.
So I saw Marilyn Manson's probably one of the craziest shows I ever saw there.
That's
He,
nuts.
yeah, he's one of the artists that made that big room feel like huge. It was a crazy show.
That's nuts. I do all Leftover Crack, the Subhumans, whatever. I've seen like so many artists there, um, and to be able to like step out and look, it's like, oh, man, what's going crazy? Just like people are moshing to like a violin piano intro. I was like, yo, this is, it something I just I can't put it in the words. I was like, yo, this is unreal. And doing that every night of the tour is like crazy. But that night in particular, because like that's like the hometown spot was nuts. But every night, seeing like, oh, okay, I've never been here before. But my only memory of this place is just looking and seeing all these like 1,000+ people, 2,000+ people. Unreal. Yeah, it's really unreal. It's such a high that when you come down from it, you're definitely kind of bummed out, but it comes in waves. I mean, we're gonna be right back at it like a week and a half from when this is gonna air. I don't know, but yeah, like a week and a half. Like it's gonna be nuts. I just can't believe it. Crazy.
And these times in between tours, are you happy for things to be a little more chill, or are you like dying to get back to the road and then just kind of get back to that chaos?
I like keeping the ball rolling. When I'm bored, I not really productive anymore. This is a lot of talks about talking to my like closer people in my life, like find a new hobby, pottery or something. I don't know, like being a chef. I don't know. I gotta find something else to do because now that my hobby is a full blown like literal job, it's like I don't want to just chill up here and watch South Park all day. Like that's so whack, you know. Like I was telling the homie, they're like, "Oh, you're probably Mr. Rockstar guy now." I was like, "Look, bro, I've seen everything Cartman's got to say. I know everything. Kenny finna die right now. I know it. Like I've seen everything these fools have to say on South Park and Family Guy and American Dad. Like I've seen it all. Like I'm bored. I'm so bored. So yeah, it's just adjusting to like finding a new passion, a new hobby. I'm working on solo music. Working on bettering myself too, on a lot of different avenues, but definitely it's a lot to like adjust for sure, for sure.
And what's that like for you, not letting the ego get in the way, right? Because you're in this popular band doing a lot of things. I'm sure a lot of people are probably trying to reach out these days. Is it hard for you to manage that, or is it, or are you pretty grounded?
Um, I I've considered myself somewhat grounded. I mean, that's up to interpretation by other people, but I mean, I don't know. I just like I'm very against like that cool guy mentality a lot of these people have.
Hmm.
They walk around, oh dude, I'm so sick, man. I'm like, all right, bro. Like, I just don't have time for all that. I like I don't really get along well with like super jaded people who are just like who just think the world owes them something because they had a cool demo, or something. Like I mean, yeah, your demo's sick, bro, but like you got a funky attitude. Like 4 songs on a Bandcamp link can only take you so far if you have a bad attitude. An awesome EP, you know, the LP of the year can only take you so far. Yeah, you have all these magazines that rock with you, but people in real life don't like you. Like it only goes so far if you have like a really awful attitude. So I try not to indulge too much in the pageantry of, like, oh, Zulu, oh. Also like reading, you know, crate, oh, 0 or 1.5 stars, like this album stuff, like stuff like that. Okay, like it grounds me. Like people, it's not, not everyone's gonna be like, oh, Zulu's awesome,
Hmm.
or like, oh, this itty bitty shirt guitar is like so corny or whatever. Like it's funny and it doesn't bum me out. It actually makes life a little easier to just see all the corny, hate because it's like, okay, like now I see that it's just we're I don't know how to put it, but it's like it's not all just hey man, can you sign this? It's just like there's gonna be a lot of hate too. So
Hmm.
I really like I have to ground myself because it's definitely a slippery slope when you're surrounded by yes men. Very dangerous. Like I've seen people get corrupted like terribly by just yes men. I've seen like it's sad. I've seen people like corrupted into like very cancerous people by just being around yes men and being around you're awesome, you're the best, you're great all the time. It's just you cannot be around you're awesome all the time. And I'm not saying you should be around people who are just trying to depreciate you and make you feel awful, but you should just be in reality, realize that like it's a two-way street. You're gonna be hated and loved. Too much of one thing is bad. Rather, too much hate, you're gonna be in the trenches down really bad, and then too much love, you're just gonna be like, you know, oh yeah, dude, like, yeah, man, I'm not gonna pay that show, dude. Like, they're not paying us enough, like, whatever. But like, I never get down like that. And my little homies too. I have to tell my little homies, don't buy into. Yeah, you got some hype, and I'm happy for your hype, but don't take it and run with it because people are gonna turn their backs on you once that new 4 song demo comes out. Once that new members of band drop, people are just gonna switch off and not rock with you unless they really realize you have substance and you're actually like a decent member of the community,
Mhm.
But yeah,
And I'll just say this publicly, just all my interactions with you, you've never changed in my opinion. You've always been, great communication. Even with Zulu getting bigger, you've not once cool guided me. So I appreciate that a lot because it has happened. People may be surprised, but there's some people that have switched up. So I'm happy that you're not one of them. You stayed the same in a good way.
thank you, man. Yeah, I'm very like I get nervous thinking I cool guide someone because I'm losing my hearing very badly. So somebody be like, "Hey, man, I don't hear it," or I'm having earplugs in, plus bad hearing, plus there being a loud band right in front of me, So I'll be like, somebody say something, and I'm like, "Oh, I didn't hear you, bro." So I get like very, because I don't want to have bad interactions with people. I don't want people to be like, "Yeah, dude, I saw Zulu and the guitarist thought he was so cool." I don't want to deal with that. So I get very stressed out thinking that one person may have had a bad interaction with me because there's interactions I've had with bigger musicians, and that it's changed the course of my life. And to them, it's just like whatever. Like I met Stephen Piercy from Rat. I had to be like 10, 11 years ago. I was like itty bitty kid. I met him. He was pissed drunk, and he probably don't even remember a word he said to me. He signed some stuff for me, but he was like, "Yeah, man, keep at it, man. Keep at it." And I was like, "This is the singer of Rat telling me to keep at it." That meant the world to me. Do you think I can tap in with him now and be like, "Yo, man, do you remember you telling that to me?" He's like, "No, he won't remember that at all."
Yeah, you're like, who's
He's like,
this?
yeah, he won't know who it is. So, like, I keep that in mind. Like, a muscular interaction you may have with somebody may go a long way to them, and you may not even remember at all. So I try to keep that in mind all the time, like literally all the
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I'm glad
time.
that
Thank you,
you're self aware of situations like that.
thank you.
Okay, well, where's Zulu heading next? Because am I wrong to think it seems like you're going to spend more time internationally coming up than here in the States? Because it seems like there's all these fests I've never even heard of that you guys are playing. I'm just like, this is crazy.
Yeah, there's um definitely some fests that I have not heard of, but I look at the lineups and I'm like, yo, it's crazy. Um, yeah, June, July, August, a lot of Europe stuff.
Yeah, because I know you guys have
Some
that
stuff
run
with
with speed, right?
speed.
Yeah,
Yeah, some stuff with speed. It lined up like 3 or 4 dates. It wasn't even planned initially. Then I was like, I rock heavy. Like, I mean, we've seen the footage, obviously. Like, you're in the speed set, Sound and Fury. I was for sure going off. I rock with that band heavy. They're all good people. So we're like, yo, if we can kind of make it work, let's make it work. So there's a few dates we're playing together, but we're playing a fest with Iron Maiden. Like, that's just
that's
ridiculous
insane.
to me. Yeah, I got Iron Maiden poster right there. So, it's crazy. A lot of Europe, France, a lot of Germany, stuff like that. We've done a lot in the States. We've done a lot in Canada. Not as much in Europe. So, I mean, we did Europe last year, but we're going to do another run to Europe. I'm looking forward to it. It should be really
Mhm. Yeah, now thinking about it, I guess it does make sense because you guys just did that full U.S. here in the States, so it makes sense to
yeah.
to leave and go hit some other countries.
Yeah, I don't want to be oversaturated. And we've played some of the spots we played before on this tour, last tour. People will come out. We did that tour in December, some in the same market. So it's been nuts to see like people be like, "Oh, yo, you guys are back," But I don't want to overdo it.
Hmm. Yeah, because it's a can be a slippery slope because you don't want to always be like readily available because then people will take it for granted.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of bands I've taken for granted that I can't believe I was seeing all the time. You know, crazy.
100%. And as far as all this international travel, are you looking forward to that? Do you like going overseas?
Being in Europe last year was probably just I can't put it into words again. It was just nuts. Like we played a fest in Denmark. Uh, Tyler the Creator was on like right, I think after us, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like we ran over after I said to go catch Tyler the Creator. We missed it because the line was huge, but we were sound checking, went back, came out, and it was they're like, oh, we're gonna let people in. I was like, okay. I was like, oh, whatever. It's gonna be like 50 people, 100 people, 200 people. There's like 2,000 plus people just screaming, and it was in Denmark. I was like, yo, Denmark, like that's crazy. Denmark is nuts, you know. And like being in France and Germany and Belgium, I was talking to Jana about this from Dehi. Like, just it was. I looked at Jana and we looked, and I was like, yo, this is nuts. It's like laughing because we were just a field of just green, and obviously like we got green out here, you know, it's grass, but it's like, oh, it's that Belgium grass. Like this is different. Like you know, what I'm saying like it was crazy. Like it was unreal. So all the homies are playing Europe this year. I hope we get to kick it. Like I said, we're playing with Scow and Calvin Harris on the fest. A lot of stuff I haven't even talked about yet that we're doing. But and like last year, me and Cody from Jane, his birthday lined up with like the one day we got to kick it in the UK. It was a movie. Like that's crazy, you know, to be able to kick it with the homies in other countries and stuff. Like Scowl and us did some stuff in the UK with Lionheart. It was like Scowl, Lionheart, Zulu, one step closer, like a weekender in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people even talk about that. I forgot that happened. But like that's crazy. Like that's insane, and that's so insane. Yeah, that was like a year ago. It's like crazy. So yeah, it's been a lot. It's been. I'm looking forward to Europe for sure.
And you mentioned Drain. What was it like being in their music video? Because I know just following you from or following you on Instagram, you have a relationship with them. But how did you end up in that music video?
Pretty much. Cody has hit me up. We talked. He hit me up earlier today. I didn't even get the chance to open it yet, but he was just like, "Yo, you want to put the video?" Like, I'm down. It was supposed to be him, me, and Gulavelli. We were all gonna be in the video together. It was gonna be initially like a Jerry Springer type show. That was what I was pitched to me, but they couldn't do it. I don't know what it was. They had limitations on like the studio and like extras. So he was like, "You want to be the only extra?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm down." It was and me and Colin chop it up now to this day. So it's really cool. But it was random. It was so random, and that studio that we were at for the video, Zulu shot there like maybe a week or two before.
Oh
So I
wow.
was like, oh, I know where this is at. We shot like our promo pictures and everything there. They're awesome. They're really cool people. But yeah, it just came together because me and Cody have a crazy camaraderie. I think, boy, love Sammy, love Tim, you know, so love Slam Jameson,
Mm-hmm.
the goat. So yeah, it was cool. It came together. I just pulled up. It was funny. It was sick. You know, it was really sick.
Yeah, shout out Drain. I love what they're doing, and I'm so happy to see their just crazy rise and them getting so much love all over the world. It's such a cool thing to watch.
Awesome. Yeah, and like nobody deserves it more because they've really been like grinding crazy, like crazy. Like they've cause I filled in on bass for them for like a tour, and that was when I saw them come up, well, like really through the ranks. Like, yo, people are rocking with this band heavy, and that summer, that's when they did it on the period. They've been, going up since, but I saw them in a garage in like Voldemort. Like that's like Elsinore. Like I
Yeah.
saw them in there 15, 2015, playing in a
Mhm.
garage in Lake Elsinore, California. It's crazy. Like
People probably don't even know where that is listening to this.
yeah, and it's like I and that was like maybe like 15 people there, and it was packed, and they covered. We've got the beat, we've got the beat, we've got the beat, and they covered it. I was super geek. So yeah, they've for sure been grinding crazy, like unreal grinding.
Yeah, and like that group of guys, super nice, very welcoming. So it's like well deserved. So I'm very
Oh,
happy for
for
them.
sure. Yeah,
And
definitely.
will we ever see a Drain Zulu tour since you have that a great relationship with them?
Technically, we kind of did, but I don't know. So we did like the we were on tour with Sasami last year, who's awesome. Shout out to Sasami. She had a break in her tour to go do South by Southwest, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it literally perfectly lined up with the the Drain Gulch Texas shows. So we did like two shows with Drain and then one show with Drain in Atlanta. So we kind of did it, but I'm down to do a full US. I mean,
That'd be insane.
hit them up, let them know I'm down. I told Cody we wanted to play shows on the tour they announced, like their big full US, but it didn't work at all. Like, there's no way it would have worked out. Like we're gonna be in Europe when they're doing the US stuff, so there would have been no way. But I'm sure in the future it'll work. That'd be really sick.
Yeah,
It'd be mad fun.
that'd be insane because you got one band from up north in the Bay, and then one band from Southern California. Just the power there is crazy.
Be so nuts. Yeah, it'd be so lit. I'm looking for. I really want that to happen. Like us, be really sick.
Okay, well, I'm happy that Zulu is getting so much success. I'd be surprised if I ran into somebody that doesn't know the name Zulu. So it's really cool to watch what all of you are doing. But I am curious about some of the other projects that you have going on. How or like, what's the state of those other bands?
Wise Money Mafia. Um, Wise is the team banging on my chest. You feel me? We got big stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shout out Colin. We're doing. Can you hear me? My phone's being weird. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. We're doing some stuff with Dead Body. We're playing a show with Dead Body and Dead Heat. Rapid Fest.
Okay.
We're doing it's like Dead Heat, Dead Body, Military Gun, Terena, which is like that band right now. Shout out Terena. Y'all are so lit.
Yeah, the band is awesome.
Like,
shout out Terena. Shout out Days. Sick ass band.
Bruh. Like the younger crop of these California bands are nuts. But hella fire bands. We got that. Turn one step closer and Dead Heat again. Oh, in a few weeks, low key. Well, I don't know when this is going to come out, but
yeah, that's on
1720. What one step closer was going to be lit
on 420.
Yeah, smoke him if you got him.
Yeah.
We're writing. We're supposed to meet up. What's today? Wednesday. We're supposed to meet up soon to write. We're writing. We're definitely writing. Because we have the addition of Juan right now.
Shout out
Juan
Juan.
is in,
he's talented.
Yeah, Firestarter, Sanctified. Ridiculously talented. It doesn't even make sense how talented that fool is. Like him and I just be sitting riffing.
Mm-hmm.
Very an amazing person to be in a band with. Just injected life into like the writing process, So yeah, we got some stuff going up, like really lit. And unfortunately, I feel like Apsara is on a definite hiatus. I love Apsara. I was looking at some pictures the other day of me. It was me and Don at Program, and By All Means and they covered Bad Seed, and it was like Apsara, By All Means, and it's me and Don just going great, like just going crazy, like just moshing like idiots, crazy. And I was like, "What is this?" I was like, "Oh, that's the Apsara show program." I was like, "Oh, Apsara," you know. I love all those people. We still talk, you know. And Madhouse, Madhouse. I love Extinction Press what they did for us. They really hooked it up with us. We have a split with Firestarter,
Great
and
split.
like I said, speaking of like the newer crop of like LA bands, I mean they've been out for a minute, but like there's a difference between like the members of Circuit and then there's like an actual new band, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
like them, like Firestarter, Sanctify, Abstain from San Diego.
Shout out San Diego Straight
Also,
Edge.
yes, for reals. Also, shout out Hereditary from San Diego. Um, and like Major Pain from OC. There's so many like newer bands. There's like Doomsday from the Bay.
Shout out
So many
Markham.
like newer crazy California bands. Like there's this band Beg from Lake Elsinore, California. Vacancy from Elsinore.
Wow,
There's this
they're
band
popping down there. I
Big Balls
gotta
also.
check these bands out. Beg and
Yeah, it's like some of them are PV, some of them are like faster punk hardcore, but
mhm.
all the new bands are crazy. But yeah, it's really to see all these like new bands come up. But we did split with Firestarter, and the reception on that was nuts. Like there is people who literally said like this is the best release in the last 10 years of hardcore, and I was like, wow, because like that's just like the Madhouse camp. The writers are nuts. Like the writing process, like Donnie. I mean, this is a band. It's like me, Donnie, who's in Wise, who's in Apsara, Moy, who was in Backup Final Solution with our homie Miles, who's an amazing drummer who's in Rolex. If you haven't heard of Rolex, check them out. They're nuts. I mean, I'm sure you heard of Rolex, but like
Yeah, I've seen them live
Rolex,
before.
Fractive Errors, um, Bloodstained Concrete, Ultra. He's a hella crazy band. The homie Juan, who is I grew up with Juan, my brother. He's in Shred Bundy with me. The writing process is so crazy because like Donnie is like a perfectionist, but not in an annoying way. It's like he wants to write something that's awesome and not cliche, and that's what he does. And him and Moy come together and they write crazy stuff. I was like, oh, let me put a lead right there, and then that was it with Madhouse pretty much. And then, but Miles is here just be like this, just drumming, and it'd be the most complex thing you've ever heard. But here just make it look so easy, and like Juan can learn anything. I've seen him learn full instruments. I've seen like Juan from Shred Bundy and Madhouse. Uh, I've seen like him learn an instrument to join a band and learn to play that instrument from learning that band's songs and then play it the next like week. Like imagine like, hey bro, we want you to fill in on tuba next week. Like, you know, we want you to play clarinet at this gig. I'm like, no, like, you know, but Juan will take the challenge and learn it and do it and do it. So like seeing him flourish as a bassist is crazy. So Madhouse is definitely a satisfying project to be in. Madhouse is definitely more or less a side project from everybody involved. So that is just whenever, you know, I mean, we get hit up for gigs a lot because everybody is busy. Like Miles is in every SoCal band for the most part. He's what I used to be. Like he's in like every band. They're all lit. They're all sick. So yeah, it's just whenever we get wherever we can all come together. But Madhouse is awesome. I love it. Shred Bundy um is so our singer had a kid, and that was pretty much the hiatus. I mean, that obviously holds precedent over any riffs or you know mosh parts. Like you know that does not matter if you when you have a child. You know, like that means the world to him. I understand that. So I mean, we still chop it up. We're always seeing ideas and merch ideas, but we have a full LP that is definitely coming. Um, that's that. You know, I'm starting some other bands I don't know if I should spill the beans, but
I want to hear it. I'm
me and
curious. Oh, Cole. Okay.
Cole from Scoured, we were talking, uh, cause I saw Milspec at AHC in December, and I looked around and I was like, oh, we're getting like old, because this is our like bread and butter. This is awesome. And some of the younger cats are like more into different types of hardcore, but like to me, like Milspec is like the pinnacle of like, yo, this is songwriting. Like this is nuts. Like Milspec awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And the singer was like R.I.P. Demo Core and dropped the mic. And it was like he was joking, but I was like, wow, like that era that we were like super geeked on, it's kind of like dwindling. Like Demo Core is not really a vibe no more. I mean, it is, but like nowhere near how it is, how it used to be. Like Demo Core was like that was it. Like bruh, like so we were just talking about like I had this joke. I was like, Spirit 2018. I dabbed them up. We started laughing, but we're trying to do like a straight edge thing, straight edge demo thing, just for fun. No name, no songs. Sorry, Cole, if I spilled the beans. And me and Malachi are working on something too.
Wow, he's so talented.
But, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't say nothing about that. Me and Cody got something. Me and Cody got two things. Me and Cody got two things for sure. Me and Dez got something too. Dez from Zulu, we got something for sure. I might front something too. I want to front multiple bands. I want to front a crossover band. I'm talking like real crossover, like real Venice, like Beowulf, ST, like real like SoCal crossover. I want to front a band like that. I want to front a beatdown band really bad, just ignorant stuff, like throwing trash cans. I want to do like the crazy extras. But yeah, there's some stuff in the works for sure that I cannot talk about. Not even that it's like the label's gonna get mad or anything. It's just like we gotta finalize some stuff, but there's some stuff coming for sure. Yeah, definitely.
I'm happy to hear that you haven't gotten lazy because obviously Zulu's so busy, it could easily distract you from what you had going on before. But to hear you talk about all your bands and you're not closing the door on any of them, that has me really excited because it shows me that you haven't gotten tired of this. Like you're still just as energized to do it all.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, like and I want to explore other genres. Like I have a fusion, jazz fusion, progressive rock thing that I've been working on for sure. I want to do. Me and Donnie, we're gonna do a death metal band. We hit up Isaiah from Twisted Cane actually to do it, but it hella fell through.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to do a real, like actual death metal. Like not. I don't want to diss nobody, but none of this like no whack stuff. Like real, like oh, this is like actual death metal. Like that's what I want to do. So it's me and Donnie. We had like a group chat with Isaiah, which is the Kane and Bloodhound. This was, I know how some people made rugs during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, learned how to do whatever during the pandemic. For us, it was like, oh, let's do a death metal band. And it hella fell through for sure. I don't even know the name of it. Like, this was like, at this point, 3 years ago. But I definitely want to explore like actual metal because I've had like actual metal bands like back in the day. In high school, I had like a mosh pizza zombies, like a cliche thrash band with split bills and like that was the vibe.
That's awesome.
I want to do that. That's fun. Like that's what I grew up on. I want to do something like that, some death thrash. And I want to do. I had a street punk band back in the day. I probably won't do a street punk band ever again. I'm not gonna lie, but I do want to explore like different stuff for sure. I think it's just fun just to make music.
Yeah, especially you're talking about new hobbies. Maybe this is your new hobby. Just keep all just explore these different ideas and see where these bands could take you.
That's definitely what I've been thinking. Maybe I just need to just explore other genres or different approaches to making music, I guess. And being in the studio, we went to the Corpus NYC studio, and Harlan from Showing the Body and Julian, like being in the studio with them is just like just seeing what they have going on is very inspiring. Like what they got going on, very inspiring. Seeing like Trip Jones too, like seeing what he's doing, and then coming back, like Dez has his own studio, just chilling with Dez and seeing what he can cook up. It's just nuts. I'm like, dude, like there's so much music to be made. Like I just wish some people had like I wish people would broaden their scope of music intake. I guess a lot of people have a very small scope of music, and it's low key kind of sad. I'm like, yo, to explore, there's a lot of sick. I'm not trying to be condescending by any means. I just like, I wish a lot of people would explore the other things going on, and that's what I always been involved in other things, but this past year especially, I've lost sight of other things. You know, I've been very caught up in Zulu, why? Zulu, why? Zulu, Shred Bundy, Madhouse. That's all. You know, just fast, heavy, growling, screaming, soloing, shredding. Then I'm like, oh, okay, well, I have this jazz thing I was working on, or I have this funk thing I was working on with the homies in Pomona. You know,
Oh, really?
I was like, oh, I'm looking at my freaking posters. I have like a Miles Davis and Prince and Frank Zappa. It's like there's so much stuff that I like need to be reacquainted with, and it's very hard when it's like breakdowns and blast beats, and it's like separate myself from that world and realize that there's a lot more going on. That's why I really am on a path to do now is re-explore stuff I used to like a lot. Because maybe that's what my passion, like you said, maybe that's what the new passion is, just re-explore old stuff, or just find new stuff. I don't know, but I'm definitely trying to figure it out right now, to be honest.
I'm curious about this funk project because I'm not the most well versed in funk, but I used to watch this Twitch streamer named Duck Sauce, and that's all the type of music he would play. It was just funk, and I was just like, I don't hate this. What is this? So I would just go to his streams to kind of see what he's listening to, and kind of that's where I would start the trail and kind of just go off from there.
Yeah, I'm very much into jazz fusion with a lot of funk. Love that stuff. Like I'm more so a bassist, if anything. I'm a bassist that plays guitar. I would say myself a bassist. I love bass, and it's something so intimate. Just you don't need a pick. Just like live playing electric guitar without a pick is probably gonna be weird. I mean, you can do acoustic stuff, whatever, but an electric bass with you can just play it without a pick. It's just so intimate. Just you can plug in and start playing. That's why I love bass. I love funk, and Bailey from Scowl. I sound like Scowl's PR team. I'm always talking so crazy about them.
That's right. They're all great.
Really good people, but Bailey from Scowl, who is one of the best bassists I've been around in years, might add, they really we just talk about like Primus deep cuts. And I don't know anybody I can look up to and talk to Primus deep cuts with besides freaking Bailey. And they show me they really re-sparked my love for playing bass. Cause I see them at soundcheck. They're just playing like a little Jackson 5 song, some R&B stuff. They're doing some fun. They're doing like a Rush thing. Like in Canada, they did like during the soundtrack, they did like some Rush songs in Canada. I was geeked. I turned around, everyone's just like chilling. I was like, oh, okay, I guess it's just me that's geeked about this. But they're looking at me when they do like a little death metal, like a little Morbid Angel, a little, something. They look at me. I'm like, oh, okay, I know what you're playing. But they're amazing bassists, and I'm like, yo, bass is awesome, and I want to explore funk bass so much more because used to be obsessed with it. I haven't really done much with it. So my bass is not even here. It's at my homie studio. I haven't played bass. I haven't played that bass in so long, but yeah, I definitely want to do the funk thing for sure. Just like a one man funk thing, a fixed drum machine, and just guitar, keyboard, bass, just go crazy. It'd be so sick.
Yeah, I was talking about how I saw Rings of Saturn and they didn't have a drummer and people were still going off.
I saw Ring of Saturn 2011, I think.
That's,
I was
that's early.
so little, but I saw Ring of Saturn. I went to see Aborted, and it was Aborted, Cow Decapitation, and this band Origin, and Decrepit Birth. And that's what I was stoked to see. And then I just see, I was like, what is this? So I was Ring of Saturn. I was like, what are they? I was like, what's happening? And I looked at their hands, like, oh, this. I was like, I could not wrap my head around what was going on. I was like, yo, these dudes are just on a whole new level of artistry. Like, they were just, I think at the time they didn't have a bass. I think it was just two guitars. So I didn't see them when they didn't have a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
But playing when there's probably, it was just probably just like samples or something, like a pad or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah. They just hit play and they just jump right into the song. And this was at the Glass House, so the Glass House was sold out and people, it was, you know, everybody was into it. Like I was like so intrigued because I'd never seen that before.
That's nuts. I could never. That's like out of my wheelhouse. I'm good. Like y'all have fun with that. I can't even wrap my head around that. That's fun, but not me. That's a level of artistry that I can always appreciate because that's like y'all are like on it, like on it, and that stuff's crazy. So nuts.
All right. And I'm just curious, from this past full US, did you have a favorite date of the tour that you can look back on fondly?
Yo, so in Miami, GSP did a Seat of Pain cover.
Oh wow, okay.
Singer, like, because like Seat of Pain awesome, obviously, but like Seance didn't see the pain and Seance filled in for GSP's last tour. So it was like me, all the Florida cats, we were just chilling in the green room. Singer of See the Pain is there, we're just chopping it. And then at that point I had seen the GSP set like every night. So I was like, okay, I knew what they were gonna open up with. There's something different. And I see a singer run up and I was like, no, like there's no way. So like my back was messed up. I was not moshing. I was just gonna chill. I was like, nah, bro. I ran up. It was me and all the homies. I just see dives and dives and dives. Everybody was going crazy. Miami was cool. I loved New York. Like Brooklyn was just nuts. Obviously, like I said, the OC date observatory meant the world to me. San Diego also meant the world to me because I had played there with this band. We opened up with this band Fossum and Jetsam, like the thrash band from like the 80s. We opened up for them, and I got kicked out right after the show. And I was like, oh, my life is over. And now seeing like we headlined, well, we headlined, but like we like sold out. I should say we sold out that venue. I was like, it was crazy. And I was like looking around. I didn't think just people could fit in that venue like that. I was like, it was nuts. I never seen that venue that packed. It was brick by brick. So that was cool. Oh, like Philly was awesome. Texas was on lock. Texas as a state is just so insane. Mm-hmm. So many sick bands. Shout out Future Shock.
Yes, great
Another
band.
really good band.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy band.
Shout out Cash Only Records.
Yeah, legit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There, I don't know. I had maybe like 10 favorite stops from the tour.
That's awesome.
10 or 11. Omaha was cool. It's so random saying Omaha was cool, but Omaha was actually really sick. The experience was cool because I found out we had Billboard that day. Like, I'm chilling and I see the group chat says Zulu, whatever, Billboard, and I saw our ranking. So like that happening in Omaha, I always associate that to like Omaha, Nebraska, and I was like, wow, this is great. So like, I don't know, it was probably like 11 or 12 dates where I was like, yo, this is just top tier, just goated behavior, you know.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm happy to watch your rise. I am happy for Zulu, and I hope you guys all have continued success with these upcoming runs overseas and whatever else you guys decide to do back in the States after that. And I appreciate you keeping it real, still giving me the time of day. I truly appreciate that. But before we sign off, is there anything else you would like to say?
I already gave the shout out to those bands. Check out all those bands. Shout out Extinction Burst, because Extinction Burst in a perspective helped us out a lot, but Extinction Burst really, they have a vision and they're like really executing it very well. And the area that they're doing it at is the area that needs it for sure. I'm in Riverside County. They're the high desert of San Bernardino County.
Mm-hmm.
San Bernardino, Riverside, it's the IE. We're all, very inner circulated. That's not even a word, whatever. But we're all in the same little bubble. So I'm very happy for what they're doing. Brad too, like Brad, Caesar, Chewy, like they're all doing amazing stuff. Chad is goated at guitar. This band Heartthrob, they're like really sick band from that area. They're all doing amazing things, and I'm just really grateful for to just be at least in the room as they come up with these ideas, or at least being pseudo present with what they're doing. Also, shout out Jeff from Inland Hardcore, because he's been booking shows of Rancho and Hemet and Homeland and Corona, Union Barber Lounge in Corona. It's like it's a beer lounge slash barbershop, and he's been booking shows there. This is Corona, California. Like, this is nuts. It's like hasn't been popping since like the showcase, like literally. So like him bringing all these cool shows to the 951 and 909 area has been really cool to see. I've been there some steps of the way, but I won't take full credit for that. Like, he's really been putting in crazy work. So shout out Jeff for sure. I just love people in my community doing sick stuff. Like, it's really cool, but it needs to happen. So yeah, I guess that's all
right.
And thank you.
No, thank you.
Yeah, but thank you for thinking that I'm like cool enough to even be on the show. That's really sick. It's my second time too. It's so sick. So yeah, I appreciate that. Shout out Flat Spot too. Shout out Ricky, Che, Jose,
yes.
Dave, done wonders.
Shout out Misery too.
Yeah, they're not. Shout out Wordless PR too. I'm not gonna forget about you. Goated. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Go listen to A New Tomorrow out now and catch Zulu on tour. I'm sure they'll be hitting a city near you. Thank you, Braxton. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back soon. Goodbye.